Alright, so here's a quick follow-up. Same stuff as before. I'm doing a calibration test on the Snapmaker 2.0 A350. And as many have commented, um, the feed rate is off in some of the newer versions of firmware. I guess they're being set to 212.21 if I remember correctly. And mine, through a whole bunch of testing, which again, the previous video I showed all of the crazy setup I've got. But I ended up with an E value requirement of 249.70. So, a pretty big difference. So I've run it now multiple times. I'm going to do my last. This is just kind of a very. Oops, that's not what I wanted. This is a last calibration, if you will, test with the newest, latest, greatest settings of that 249.70. So I'm going to run it again, and we'll see what happens. So again, here it is doing the extrusion, and you can see it. She's piling stuff out, and it should stop at 50 millimeters. So something is not quite right. I am consistently getting different values. I'm not quite sure what the deal is here. The last run that I ended up getting, it was very close to being the same exact setting, or I'm sorry, the resultant, where it was off just a skosh. This run is back to being 2.5 millimeters or 2.3 millimeters off. The last time I ended up running a calibration test, I was 0.83. Now I know that we're splitting hairs here, and it's ultimately not mega important. However, if you are somebody that puts a whole lot of filament through your printer and using it in a production setting, maybe it is a big enough deal, where you're thinking that you're getting certain weight or whatever, and you're trying to make some judgment calls. I mean, I kind of try to look at some things, not just in my predicament, but I'm also very curious in what others are getting as far as their values. So again, I'm probably going to end up running this again, just to see if I can repeat this, 2.3 millimeters shy, because again, I had it set right at 150, and it should have pulled it down to 50. Again, I am doing a 100 millimeter extraction test, and the 50 millimeters is just to try and allow for clearance that I have with the paper clip and blah blah blah. So that's the only real reason that I'm starting at 150. And again, from the previous video, just as a quick recap, I have some modifications to my printer. However, that doesn't make any difference compared to the test. And I am just using the top plexiglass, which I have not peeled the plastic off, and I'm not going to for various reasons. But I'm basically just using one of the holes in the plexiglass to hold the depth gauge portion of my digital calipers, and I have it taped to the top so that it doesn't move while I'm doing the test. And I'm just basically clipping it right to the top and then measuring the difference between what I've got. So that's the setup. It doesn't necessarily mean anything on exactly how I have it set up. What I'm doing is I'm trying to get something that's very repeatable. I'm not necessarily looking for ultimate accuracy or the methodology or anything else, but I am setting it up, and I am looking for the repeatability of the calibration test. And like I said, I just had some skewed results here. So again, kind of giving information as well as looking for some potential recommendations of why I'm getting different varying results. Even though everything is locked in, yes, I did save the settings with an M500 command. I did end up getting verification through terminal that it was saved, so that's not it. As I'm sure, that would probably be the first thing that people would call out. But and again, just real quick, I'm going through my Octo-Print setup with a Pi, and I'm using terminal directly connected to the USB. So it is effectively the same thing as talking G-code directly with the controller, even if you're doing it in Luban. I just ended up wanting to try going through, again, the same terminal. I'm still talking G-code to the controller directly. It doesn't matter what application you use to do that. It's just important that you end up speaking direct commands with G-code to the printer itself. So that's what I got. Again, don't pay any attention really to the setup. It's just for direct measurement purposes, for repeatability only. But anyways, I hope that this kind of helps somebody. Again, I am kind of looking for a better understanding of what things should be, need to be, how to do it, when to do it. And I have been seeing some of the same results that others have come to the conclusion that Snapmaker is not setting the correct settings to be close. I don't know if that's maybe first gen Snapmaker settings are 221 or 212.21, whereas this one is a different setup and needs different settings. But either way, you pay this much for a machine, and I would expect that the firmware comes with those codes updated to be correct, at least out of the factory. So thank you very much.